Hey, what up everyone? Welcome back to the Lift the Noise vlog. I am Raul. This is the third installment of my Mixing in the MPC Live series. Now, I'm not branding these as tutorials, but rather vlogs because it is kind of just the process of me figuring out how to do that in the MPC Live. A little bit about myself if you haven't checked out my other videos, the first two, which I will link to in the description. I went to a music production school, so I do know some mixing concepts. It's kind of stale because I haven't really put them to practice in a while. One of the main reasons is because I learned in Pro Tools, and I just don't like to use computers much at all for the creative process, just because I think it's a big distraction for me. There's just a lot of things that can go on with the computer that can keep you from actually getting things done. So that's just my personal choice of why I've chosen to go standalone and just use hardware stuff. I just have the MPC Live, a mixer, I have some little monitors, headphones, a keyboard, a record player, and that's how I make my beats and do what I do. Akai came out with update 2.4 probably over a month, and I've been sleeping on it. I was busy doing 30 beats in 30 days, which I'm gonna have fit into this. I think what I'm gonna do with that is I'm gonna take 10 of the best beats, try to mix those along. In past vlogs, I was signing up and looking into BeatStars and Airbit, and I wanted to sign up for BeatStars because I signed up for Airbit, and I know that with free accounts with either one of those, you get up to 10 beats that you can upload. So my idea is to take 10 of those 30 beats and mix those and get those up so that they are available for purchase, just to get my feet wet in the selling beats and leasing beats online game. Prior to the release of 2.4, Kai was coming out with a new hardware machine called the Force, and when that finally dropped, some questions were answered. I was hoping for something that would kind of make what I've been doing up to this point obsolete. I was hoping for a new mixer. So there was a question, will this 2.4 have a new mixer? And the answer is no, it doesn't. If you go ahead and you check out the Akai Pro Force, you see some of the videos of people working with that, I think you'll see a new layout for the mixer. And what I heard someone say, the Force is running MPC software 3.0. So I'm hoping that one day, I think we should be getting that with the Live, right? Eventually. And the main thing that I was wanting that came with this was the compressors is now having visual representation of the meter, so you can see what amount of the signal is being compressed, and then you can also see the makeup gain. Oh, the mother ducker, which is sidechaining. People have been screaming about getting that for a long time. There was one beat in a 30-day beat challenge that I used like an 808 kick, and then I had a bass line on it, and those two things are difficult. They contain a lot of that same frequency information. Alright, so many of y'all probably have an MPC Live, but for those of you who don't, I'll go ahead and take a look at a list of the new effects available in the MPC Live with the update 2.4. A lot of these effects are made by the company Air, and then the mother ducker is actually an Akai plugin. So here's a little list. I'll just scroll through them a little bit and just let you take a look. So there's quite a bit here. I haven't really checked everything out, but some of the basic stuff like reverb, I guess I'll go in and check out a reverb. And I'll just go through some of the presets. So there's quite a few presets, and the interface is cool. A lot of things I can do here. All right, so I'm just gonna go out, and now I want to look at the compressor and talking about the visual representation of the meters that come with it now. I think it helps in order for me to understand it better, and then also to articulate it a little bit better for everyone else that's watching, because I think I could have articulated that and explained it a little bit better. We're over here. So okay, going in and checking out the settings. I actually want to just put the threshold all the way back up to 0, and then the output is set to +15 by default, which I don't want right now. I want to start low and just leave it at 0. With the ratio, I don't think I'll really get into ratios much today, and I kind of explained it in the second video, so go ahead and check that out. But yeah, I'll go into that further in another video. Well, anyways, let's go into it. So I'll just take a look. Okay, so I have these meters now, which is beautiful. In the center of these meters, well, first off, to explain the input right here, this is what's coming into the compressor. So that's the decibel reading, what's coming into it, and then what's going out. So at the moment, nothing is being compressed, so both meters are reading exactly the same, because my threshold is set to 0 dB and my output is at 0. So in the middle of these two, I have a reduction, gain reduction. So when I turn down my threshold, I will see how much is being compressed. There is a little yellow reading there. So I'll turn my Q-Link here and turn my threshold down, and then you'll see there's also an arrow right here to the left. So as I turn my knob, you can actually see a visual of where my threshold is. So meaning when my signal that's coming into the compressor hits that point, that's when the compression will begin. So I'm going to go ahead and start this and then just turn it down so you can see the reduction in the level and what's being compressed. Wait for it to come back around. So now you see some compression happening. Okay. So now that I have some compression happening, I want to look at how much is being reduced by looking at the decibel level right here in the center, looking at where my yellow line is stopping, and then this is where the output comes in. So I'm going to compress it a little bit more, and then I'm going to turn the output up. So essentially what I'm doing is I'm turning down all the louder parts by setting my threshold so the signal doesn't go past the threshold, and then by turning my output back up, I'm raising the quieter parts up to that level of the louder parts. So then I am kind of eliminating the dynamic range so that the levels are, well, let's say more level. Now let's just go ahead and what we want to do is hit the on off, so it's like the bypass. This will turn off the compression and then back on, and so I can use my ears. This is where I use my ears. And from what I learned in school, what you want to do is you want to listen. So if there's any audible difference in volume from bypassing your compressor and turning it on, then you have outputted too much here. So you don't want to have any audible difference between this and this, between it being bypassed and it being on. Alright, so that's my little explanation on this. Alright, so checking out the mother ducker, I'm going to move over to my drum group, and I'm going into pad mixer, and I want to look within the Akai Professional plugins. Now there are two parts to the mother ducker. There's an input, and then there's just the mother ducker plug-in. So I want to use this kick right here to go into the input, and there's not much to this interface. You just have a selection of buses, and there are up to 8 buses with the mother ducker. Okay, and then I'm gonna sidechain that. I'm gonna go over to my bass 808 group. I have this sound, so it's like a pitched 808 bass line, and I have that layered with the kick. So I'm gonna go into track mute so I can just mute everything but those two things. Alright, I'm at my bass 808. I'm gonna go into pad mixer, and then I'm gonna select the mother ducker plugin. And in here we have much more to the graphic user interface. Okay, so essentially what the mother ducker is and what sidechaining is, it is a compressor that uses a input signal in order to determine what is being compressed or how much is being compressed, rather than just setting your threshold and waiting for your input signal to hit that threshold ceiling and then begin the compression. Instead, I have my bus, I have my kick going to the input of bus 1, and that's coming in, and that'll be doing the compression on this 808 bass line. So every time my kick comes in, it will compress the 808. So let's just take a look at it right here on our meters. So it's pretty much just like the compressor that we just looked at, in that we have the input. So this is my bass line, my 808 bass line right here, and it's the same on the output. Well, it's not, because I do have some, already looking at this, I already have some gain reduction, some compression is happening. I can adjust my threshold right here. If I turn it all the way up to 0, there will be no compression. So this threshold is my kick. This is controlling my kick and how much of that is coming in. Now the key is also considered, I guess, the bus or the sample that I'm using, which is my kick. See, you see it kicking every time you hear that. You hear that kick, it's bouncing up. So I set my threshold down and just watch for my gain reduction. And now compression and then sidechaining. This is, from what I hear, because this is only my second time using this, and what I hear is a tool best used subtly. So I'm going to turn it all the way up and you tell me how it hears. So it really cuts off the attack on the 808. So I don't want to use that much sidechaining. I want to go subtle with it. Alright, so there's an idea of how this sidechaining works. Yeah, I am brand new to sidechaining. I've never really used it much, other than, I believe, one time in school. So yeah, it's a whole lot of fun. It's going to be a great tool that people use in order to fit their kick along with their bass line. Just because, of course, you have the kick and the bass line are taking up a lot of the same frequency range as far as that low frequency. So you want those two things to kind of fit together like a glove. So use this sidechaining subtly. I will be messing around with it some more, and I think that's about it. All I wanted to show you guys today. Since I'm on a roll with giving myself challenges, and my 30-day beat challenge is up, I figured I'd give myself another one and do a 10-beat mix challenge. It's going to be mixing a beat a week. If I don't set my goals, I tend to procrastinate. 1 beat a week, so 10 beats, 10 weeks, 2.5 months, I'll be ready. I'll do a vlog on BeatStars. I'll sign up for that. And in the meantime, I'll be just kind of figuring out what it takes to sell beats online. And also in that process, I'm sure I'm going to learn a lot of things. I am learning still. I admit I'm not the authority on any of this stuff, but I am a student of music, and I continue to be, and I continue to learn. And along the way, I'm sure I'll figure out a mixing template and a step-by-step guide. So I'll be doing some mixing in MPC Live tutorials. I appreciate every one of you. Thanks for stopping by. Thank you for taking the time to like, comment, subscribe. It's very encouraging for me to keep on doing what I'm doing. You can go ahead and throw some money at me whenever you feel like it. So I'm kidding. But anyways, I am Raul, and this is Let the Noise. Peace.